Hey there, Sarah here with Quilts Love. Today I have an all-new project for you. I am going to be working on a collage style t-shirt quilt. This quilt is going to have blocks of all different sizes. The t-shirts are going to be cut to best emphasize the graphics that are printed on them. I am going to be using t-shirt fronts, t-shirt backs, t-shirt for you. I am going to be working on a collage style t-shirt quilt. This quilt is going to have blocks of all different sizes. The t-shirts are going to be cut to best emphasize the graphics that are printed on them. I am going to be using t-shirt fronts, t-shirt backs, t-shirt breast pocket logos. I'll take you through some of the cutting of that process, and then I'm also going to take you through the basic construction and, as usual, show you what this quilt looks like in the end. Today I'm going to be working with, I think at my last count I had a little bit more than 40 t-shirts. So I'm going to show you how you can really fit a tremendous amount of shirts all on one quilt. Let's get started. So what you can see I've done here, guys, is I have organized the pile of t-shirts according to the size of the graphic that I plan to use. So those are my extra large graphics. I've got some of my very small graphics right here. So this is one of those breast pocket logos. I also, whenever I'm working with t-shirts that I might use both sides, I will put a pin in those shirts that I plan to use front and back. I think in a previous video I talked about how you can not only cut and make sure you preserve both front and back side of the t-shirt, but also when you're organizing it, how you can keep those straight. So here I'm just using a pin to indicate which shirts I'll be doing that type of a process on to make sure I don't accidentally cut the graphics too small or trim a little bit of the graphic. You can see here, these are going to be a 6.5 by 12.5 inch block because they're a narrow graphic, nice and wide. And then this last stack here, these will be my 12 by 12, so these will be nice big square blocks to kind of anchor all of the rest of the smaller blocks together. All right, guys, we're doing a rough cut on these t-shirts this time. For a rough cut, the first thing I'll do is lay it out. And since I don't have a pin here, I know I don't need to worry about anything that's on the back. I will just keep as much of the graphic as I possibly can. And what I like to do, because I like to move quickly, I like to work quickly, I will fold the bottom up, that way I can get it all here in one quick cut. Slide it up, throw that away. And here again, these rough cuts, you don't have to be overly precise about it. You don't have to be overly precise about it because you are going to be stabilizing these t-shirts and then recutting them after they're stabilized. And I do have that in another video. I will link that below to make sure that you have the full process. And if you want to get in depth, that's totally fine. I will also show you what it looks like here again in just a little while. You'll see it, but it'll be on speed mode. So that's how you're going to cut the large shirt. I only save the top, that way I don't get confused later. And then this goes right into the garbage. Let's move on to another set. So here I'm going to show you how I would cut one of the shirts that I do want to keep both sides. You should definitely take a little bit more care with those, especially when you can see this is a tank top. Those sleeves are cut off. For this one, I'm actually just going to cut right up the side seams. Because it's a tank top, I don't have those arm seams to worry about. There's a lot less bulk for the cutting. So I'll just trim right up here. This helps me ensure that I don't cut any of the graphic that I want to keep in the quilt. Then I will separate these two into their respective piles. So this graphic's going to go into that 12 by 12 pile. And then this one, I will cut down just a little bit more since I know the only part of this one that I need is right here on top. I'll just cut it down a little bit more because I don't want all that negative space, and I certainly don't want to stabilize all that extra material unnecessarily. All right, our t-shirts are cut. Now it's time to get them stabilized. You can see I've got my iron set up and my ironing board out. I am going to lay my t-shirts with the graphic face down, and then I'm going to grab my fusible interfacing that I affixed to the back of the shirts. I've cut my interfacing so that the stretch goes in the opposite way that the stretch of the t-shirt would go. So most t-shirts will stretch wide, but they won't stretch as much tall. So I have put my interfacing in a way to reduce as much stretch as possible. I'm going to lay it down, and then with a very, very light touch, I am going to fuse the interfacing to the back of the t-shirt. That's all that takes. And as you can see, I've got about 40 more shirts to go, so I better get busy. All right, now that we've got all of our t-shirts stabilized, you can see that I've got my cutting mat set up. I've got all my t-shirts set over here and ready to go. Today, I'm gonna be using a variety of different size rulers to cut. I've got a 6.5 that I'm gonna use for the breast pocket style or the side graphics. I've got a 12.5 that I'm gonna be using for most of the t-shirts. And then since some of the t-shirts are a full graphic on the front of the t-shirt, I will be using my 24-inch ruler, probably taking them down to 16. Ideally, when you're making a collage style t-shirt quilt, you want all of your block sizes to have a common denominator or be divisible by a common number. So whether that's 3, 4, 5, 6, in some cases. So probably I'll be taking those large full front t-shirts down to either 16 or 18, depending on what the size of my smallest blocks are cut to. So we'll see how that goes. Every t-shirt quilt is just a little bit different, so you do have to adjust sometimes as you're going. I'll update you though on what I decided once I get these cut. So with, I'm sure I've shown this in other videos, but when you are cutting a t-shirt, you want to use the grid lines on your ruler to square it and make sure that the graphic is in the center of your ruler. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut because I have already centered this one top to bottom. Then you're left with your perfect block. On the back, you can see I've got stabilizer on all edges to make sure it stays nice and crisp, and I will put it into its own pile. As you can see here, guys, if you have a shirt graphic that is larger than any one of the rulers you have, even if you have all of them, you can still cut this image. And what I like to use, and this is maybe something that I've developed, I'm not really sure if any other quilters use this, so if you do, tell me about it in the comments below. But I will do a ruler on ruler method. So I square up my image with my square ruler that I would use all the time. And then I use a long straight edge, in this case, another ruler of mine, and I set them exactly on the edge. That way I know in line vertically they are even. Then I will make that nice long cut on both sides. That way, if I want to have a larger square, or rather, I guess in this case it would be a rectangle, if I want to have a larger rectangle than what any one ruler would afford me, I can do it this way and still get nice even cuts on all sides. We're done cutting, so now it's time to grab all of your blocks and just start laying them out. For most of us, this is maybe the most fun part, but can also be the most challenging. So let's get laying them out and we can swap them out as we go. As you can see, I have started stitching up the quilt top that I'm working on here. I did finalize the t-shirt placement, and I wanted to give you a couple more things to think about as you're making your quilt. I told you earlier that you want to have a consistent denominator with your quilt blocks. What I mean by that is your quilt, your t-shirt should be cut height and width by a common denominator. For this quilt, I decided on a common denominator of 3. So finished t-shirt has been cut to be divisible by 3. For example, I have 6.5 by 6.5 inch block. This is going to finish at 6 because we have to allow for that 1/4 inch seam allowance on all 4 sides, and 6 is divisible by 3. I also did 9 inch, 12 inch, 15 inch, 18 inch blocks. So that way, when we puzzle piece all of it together, you'll have multiple pieces that fit and they all line up in the end. Now, to that, you have the option when you're working on a collage style quilt to either match a lot of your corners up or to stagger them as I have here. That way they don't match up. The more often you match those corners, the more symmetrical your overall quilt is going to look. If you want it to be really loud and very a lot of movement in your quilt top, then you can stagger those matching points or eliminate them altogether. With those common denominators, you'll always have the option to swap blocks around and it's gonna fit in the end. All right, the quilt top is assembled. I have it already on my long arm. I still need to baste down the edges, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I'm using. You always wanna use batting in between your layers. That adds a lot of warmth to it. It also can aid in the drape. I'm using Hobbs 80/20. It is a nice universal batting to go in between my layers today. I'm also going to be using some Sulky Premium. This is an invisible thread. It really comes in kind of 2 colors. One is a light and one is the dark, called Smoke. Because this quilt top is, really bright, I'm gonna stick with the lighter invisible thread today. And the reason why I use invisible thread is because whenever I'm working with t-shirts, there is no reason why my thread should compete with the graphics on the shirt itself. If you're having a quilt made out of your t-shirts, it's because those are the most important part of this quilt. In general, quilters, especially long arm quilters, we like the quilting to show up and we really want to make it dramatic, but that's not the case with your t-shirt quilt. You want the t-shirts to be the highlight here. So I am going to mute the quilting. It'll be a really light all over quilting, enough to hold the layers together and add some durability to the quilt for the long term, but I don't want the quilting to overshadow the t-shirts themselves. So an invisible thread, it'll melt into the background. It's going to look great and it'll do its job, which is really hold those layers together.